Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Korean Fluency Journey. And yeah, I know it's been a long time. I wasn't able to make any videos, contents, and upload them because of personal circumstances. But I've seen recently that many students, many people are interested in continuing learning their Korean language and they were subscribing to my channel. So that's why I decided to continue my channel. And I know that I've been putting off this topic, the last part of Korean honorific. I've taken 3 videos so far. Um, it was about the Korean honorifics first part, and then about 객체 높임, 주체 높임. So honoring the subject of the sentence and honoring the object of the sentence. And today it's the last part of the Korean honorific topics. So we are going to finish it. And so you will know about different types of honorifics. And so you will know how to use them, those kind of endings that are used in this topic. Well, first of all, I should tell that I'm not a professional Korean teacher. I am just a learner like you guys who have been learning Korean for a long time and digging deep to understand it better. So, and one of the topics, one of the difficult topics for foreigners, for us, is the existence of the Korean honorifics, the grammar. Well, that's also one of the questions that I get mostly from my friends, from my students. So, and that's why I decided to make this video and to finish that challenging topic. Well, there might be some, how to say, mistakes. So but if you are interested to learn about the subject, I mean, the Korean grammar, Korean honorifics, maybe you can take the class in Korean linguistics where your professor, Korean professor, will be able to understand and give you more, how to say, clear and more reliable answer or information. So yeah, just this is like for those who want to just, how to say, know the basics and how it works. So I hope you will find it helpful and don't judge me very seriously. Well, today's topic is honoring the listener in the conversation, which is called 상대 높임법. So what is the 상대 높임법? If you guys remember, we've learned about 주체 높임법, which is the honoring the subject of the sentence, and the 객체 높임법, which is the honoring the object of the sentence. But now we are going to learn about 상대 높임법. So you're talking about, you're making a statement, you're telling a sentence, or kind of how to say, conveying information to the person, I mean to the listener. So you are the speaker and the person who you are talking to is the listener. So according to the listener, your listeners age, status, and social position, right? uh, there are some rules that you need to follow. So usually people know it, 당대 높임법, or that's also called 정자 높임법 or 공성법. All are the same thing. And it's a method of honorification of the listener through the special linguistic endings. So that we are going to learn later. So as I told you in the conversation, according to the age, social status of the listener. And this is used as one of the mostly used, how to say, honorification methods rather than 주체 높임법, subject honorification, and 객체 높임법. I'm so sorry if I'm saying something wrong about the translation part of this. If there are some of you who are majored in linguistics, current linguistics, and know English terms of these ones, it would be better also if you could let me know about in the comment. So, and how to form 상대 높임법. So what are the methods to express 상대 높임법? Well, first of all, in Korean, you need to end your sentence with some endings, right? So, for example, in English, we say "I go to school." You don't have to attach to the verb in order to end your sentence, right? But in Korean, you need to have special endings that are attached to your verb, especially the verb at the end of your sentence, that shows about the style, about the honorification, and it shows about the what's the tense and other grammatical things. So first of all, let's look at these four sentences. So 눈이 온다, 눈이 와, 눈이 와요, and 눈이 옵니다. So these four sentences mean the same thing. So it's snowing, right? It snows, it's snowing. And if you look at the endings of these of the verbs ta, right? And there is nothing here in the second sentence, and there's just yo in the third sentence, and 봅니다 is the ending in the fourth sentence. So all of these sentences, the endings, 다, 요, 봅니다, mean the same thing, but it depends on the listener's status, age. So according to the listener's age, status, and the social position and the social context, whether it's formal or informal, you need to kind of attach the proper ending particle, which is called 종결어미, 종결어미 or 문말어미. So the endings of the sentence. And there are actually six levels of honorifics in 상대 높임법. So these are the six, and they are called 해라체, 반말체, 하계체, 하오체, 해요체, 합쇼체. So I know it's a little bit difficult to remember and to pronounce these names, but you just need to look at the endings of the sentence. So 오겠다, if you see, here's 다, right? And 반말체 means 오겠어, just the 어, and 눈이 오겠네, so just 네, right? And 하오체, so you see o, so in the last part you'll need to attach o, so 오겠소. And 해요체 means so that your sentence ends with yo. For example, 눈이 오겠어요, 눈이 오겠어요. And 합쇼체 means so your sentence ends with the 봅니다, 씁니까. So 눈이 오겠습니다. These kind of six levels of honorifics in 상대 높임법. And we are going to look at them in detail, one by one, with example sentence. This video is a little bit long and might seem very boring, but just try to understand the basic, the concept of these 상대 높임법. If you're a beginner, it might be a little difficult for you. If you are already like intermediate or advanced level, I think it would be very useful for you, and you can maybe refer to other sources to better understand these six levels of honorifics. So the first one is 해라체. This honorification method is used when a listener is younger or at the same age or status with you, or when you have a close relationship with the speaker. So that is more kind of casual way of talking to people. So when you are at the same age with the speaker, the same status level, or just you have a very close relationship with that person, you can use this form. That means you can you can end your sentence with these endings. For example, we know there are four types of sentence, like endings in positive sentence. Usually it ends with 다, or 는는다, 는다구나, 있는구나. And if you want to ask something and make a interrogative sentence, so you'll use 느, 니, or 으니, 냐, 으냐, 느냐. And if you are using imperative sentence like go there or give it to me, this kind of sentence, you need to use 알아, 얼어, 오라, 여라. And in request sentence like let's go or let's see. So this kind of sentence, you just attach 자 to the word. And example sentence for 해라체 are 눈이 오겠다. So you see, just you use the 다, you end your sentence with 다 ending. And this is for nouns. 여기는 서울이다. So the same, 이다, 서울이다. And the question sentence, 진짜 눈이 오겠니? 진짜 눈이 오겠니? So, 니 means like you are asking. 윤우야, 여기 잠깐 기다려라. So, 기다려라. So you are attaching your 려라 for the 어라, 기다리어라, but in short form you use 려라, means wait for a while here. And 마트 같이 가자. Let's go to mart together. 마트 같이 가자. So you see, you are attaching 자 to the verb and to say in the 해라체 for request sentence. And the second one is 반말체. It is similar to 해라체 and used in the same situation and context with 해라체. The particles usually a, o, or ya in positive questions imperative sentence. And what you need to pay attention to is the accent and the intonation at the end of the sentence. So because we say we have similar the endings, right? So if you want to how to say distinguish and know whether it's a positive sentence or a question or it's a imperative sentence, you just need to pay attention to the intonation or the accent. So here 눈이 오겠어. 여기가 부산이야. So this is like 이야 means this is 부산. And 여기가 부산이야. So you are asking your partner, your like how to say your friend, is this Busan? Like 여기가 부산이야? Like this. So the same particles, right? But just you need to raise the intonation at the end of sentence here. And 여기 기다려. So it means wait for me here. 여기 기다려. Here, wait here. 기다려. So usually 반말체 is also used between friends for your like for people who you are very close with, and yeah, maybe your parents, your close friends, or even a person is older than you or higher in status, but you are very close with that person. You can use 반말체 or 해라체. Yep, this is for 반말체. And however, there are endings for 반말체 in question, like if you want to make a question in 반말체, more casual, informal language, you can use 을까, 가, 는가, 게. For example, 우리 오늘 영화 볼까? 이게 그 친구의 작품인가? Like this. These kind of questions you can use to make a question sentence for 반말체. And the third one is 하객체. So if you see the word 하객체, it means your sentence will end with 하게, 개, and but there are other endings. So is used when the speaker is when the speaker is older than the listener, but the listener is also not that young. So for example, this is a let's imagine the situation when you are talking to your professor, right? So your professor might use this level of honorification to you. So he can't, because of course, like students might be young, right? But this is the call for like usually for students who are kind of also like in 30s maybe or late 20s. So, and the professor will talk to you using this level of honorification. Or another situation, so your parents-in-law, for example, let's say, can use this level of honorification to you, to their sons of law. So ending sentence 하겠지, like positive sentence 네, 나, 는가 in questions, and 게 is imperative, and 세 in request sentence. For example, 눈이 오겠네. 여기가 서울이네. 정말 비가 오겠나? Like question. 여기 좀 기다리게. So it means 기다려, right? Wait here. Your professor might tell you to wait here using this language. 여기 좀 기다리게. And 이 사람아 같이 먹세. So 세 means like let's eat together. So as you know that it's used mostly between professor and a student, or between parents-in-law and son-in-law, and also usually between friends when they are also in their mid-age, right? In mid-30s or like 40s, they are like old enough they're not like students, like 20s, in their 20s, so they can talk to each other also using this level of honorifics. But you don't have to know these all things in detail. Just like let's say if you come across these kind of endings in the conversation on TV, or someone speak this with these endings, just for you to understand it. So you might just know the formal and informal language, that's it. But sometimes in the conversation you might also hear these kind of endings people using. And fourth one is the 하오체. So ending particles of 하오체 are usually o or so, and these particles are also used in the questions, imperatives, and positive sentence at the same time. But it's very rare to hear or to see people use this type of honorification in real life conversations. So almost never. But just like for the extra information, you can just remember. So 나는 기다리겠소. 여기 부산이요. 눈이 오겠소. 가시오. And 먹읍시다. 먹읍시다 means let's eat. 먹읍시다. So sometimes people you can use, but it's very rare. 하오체. So see, the 하오체 means your sentence ends with 오 ending, right? So you see 오 가시오 먹읍시다. This is just like a how to say exception. And number 5 is 헤어체. So if you look at the name 헤어체, you see 요, right? So your sentence will end with 요. So use when we want to show respect to the listener, and commonly use it in daily life. So every day. And you can attach particle 요 to the 반말체 to create 헤어체. And also you can use the same ending for positive sentence, for questions, for imperative sentence, and for request sentence. But you need to be careful with the intonation and accent. So the first one is 눈이 오겠어요. 눈이 오겠어요. So the rising intonation. 100원이 있을까요? So you're asking if that person or have 100 won. And 내일 봐요. So it means see you tomorrow. 내일 봐요. And 집에 가요. So it also means, they may mean like I'm going home, I go home, or it can also means go home. When you order someone to go, you tell someone to go home. So 집에 가요, like your boss might tell it's 6 o'clock, so it's time to go home, and he can say to you, oh, 집에 가요. 집에 가요. Like you pay attention to the intonation and accent. Or it can be also used in the question mark, like you're going home, like 집에 가요. Like it's not 6, o'clock, but you're going and your boss might ask you, 집에 가요? Are you going home? Like this. And our last form of level of honorification is 합쇼체. So as you can see here, 합쇼 means like your sentence will end with 입니다, 봅니다, 씁니다, 씁니까. So, and this is, we've learned 5 levels, right, so far. And number 6 is the most, how to say, is the highest level of honorification among the 6. So it's common to hear this form at work among colleagues. They are using this, how to say, level of honorification. They can also use it in formal situations like business meetings, or also on TV, like journalists might use this form, and people use it in their speeches when they are giving a presentation or talking to on a special topic, right? Like informal settings, and when professors giving a lecture, or yeah, in those kind of contexts, you can use this level of honorification. And people also use it in the written Korean. So, but if you want to use it in your speaking, right? But it might sound a bit like awkward to use it all the time in your speak. 안녕하십니까? 밥 먹었습니까? 어디 갑니까? Like this kind of sentence might sound a bit weird in the speaking, but in writing it's fine. And so that's why if you want to use it in how to say, in informal settings, like in daily life conversation, it's better if you use 헤어체. So 어디 가요? 밥 먹어요? 밥 먹었어요? This kind of sentence endings, and the ending particles are 입니다, 씁니다, 씁니까, 니까, 시오, 없시다. And example sentence are 잘 모르겠습니다. I don't know. 잘 모르겠습니다. And number 2 is 어디 갑니까? 어디 갑니까? And number 3 is 밥을 먹었습니까? 밥을 먹었습니까? Have you eaten? 밥을 먹었습니까? And number 4, 조심히 들어가십시오. So this is when you're telling someone who is leaving, right? And you're saying bye. 조심히 들어가십시오. 조심히 들어가요. You can say also. And last one is let's go together. 같이 갑시다. 같이 갑시다. So if you pay attention to these 5 sentences, all of them have the 풉니다, 풉니까, right? 풉니까, 보십시오, and 갑시다. So that's why the name is 합쇼체. So this is the most formal and the highest level of honorification among these 6 levels. So yeah, this is a bit like difficult and confusing topic, I know, because I've also spent lots of time to understand its usage and how to use it properly, correctly in those kind of settings. And I'm still kind of confused sometimes from time to time, but I refer to the books, and sometimes I ask my friends, my Korean friends, about these, and it's very complex. So, but you don't have to learn, and you don't have to know all of these 6. Just for those who are curious about this kind of 상대 높임법, about this topic, you can just refer, and to learn more, you can refer to the textbooks, Korean grammar textbooks that are written in Korean for Koreans. Or if you are a Korean major, like Korean language major, maybe you can also take these classes at your university. And yeah, I think we learn it by trial and error. So I had a hard time mastering these all 6 levels, but in daily life, I usually use 합쇼체, the level, this one, and 헤어체. And with my friends, I use 반말체 or 헤라체. So these four are enough for you to better speak and involve in conversations with native Koreans. So yeah, and don't be surprised and don't be demotivated by these. I mean the endings and lots of particles. Everything comes with time and with experience. Just take your time and try to learn more and try to engage in conversations with native speakers. If you don't have that kind of chance, try to listen more to the Korean, I mean, TV or YouTube. We have lots of resources there, and try to pay attention to how they use this different kinds of, how to say, endings in their speech and yeah, and in their speaking, right? So that will be very useful for you. So I guess that's it for today. Well, I think I've talked too much because it's a very long and complex topic, but I'm really happy that I could do this and uh, share something useful with you guys. So if you have any questions or like anything do you want to ask, you can always leave a comment or message me anytime. So next time I will try to also make some more useful and more practical for you guys so that your study Korean, I mean, will be much easier and less stressful. Thank you very much and see you in my next video. Bye.